Hey everybody, welcome to the first part of the Bosryers experience at Spookspruit. Please join our Facebook group and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We arrived at Spookspruit quite early in the morning, before sunrise, and even with this early morning, we were welcomed with coffee, rusks and some biscuits. Little did we know that this would be a farewell shoot for Spookspruit. Hi guys, welcome to episode number 5 of season 2 of the Bosryers series. And today we are at Spookspruit, and this is Johan Habenga, who is joining us for the day, who's actually our tour guide and basically the manager on this farm. Johan, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you for inviting us, and I believe with your assistance we're going to have one blast of a day.
Most welcome at Spookspruit. Spookspruit is a guided trail, preferably.
Okay.
So I'm not a tour guide, I'm a 4x4 trail guide. So I'm here to show you where to drive and where not to drive. Spookspruit is a very technical trail with the emphasis on the co-driver being outside the vehicle to assist the driver to choose the correct line of the obstacle.
Alright, and what do you do in the case where your co-driver is not experienced enough?
That's where I offer my assistance to help and also to get the emphasis on the co-driver being outside the vehicle to assist the driver. This is a training day. It's a learning curve, and also the trail is from meek to wild. So progressively the trail gets more difficult, and with that the driver as well as the co-driver will get more confident in their own abilities to drive and to guide and to show the vehicle through the obstacle course.
Awesome. And now I've seen a few videos of Spookspruit on YouTube already. This is our first time here today, and if you can tell us more or less gradients and various line options and so on, what can we expect more or less?
Spookspruit is a trail. It's not an obstacle course, so we start off, it's literally a little veld paadjie that we're driving, and we start off meek and mild, and we always say start in low range to keep the speed down and to be aware of any unpredictable obstacles that you might encounter. So this is a typical veld drive. Obstacles, 16 obstacles. We start off with a 2, 3, and then it goes to a 4, and then obviously we've got on our red route we've got number 5 obstacles, and we have also on some of the obstacles we've got an escape route which is like a 2. So yes, 16 obstacles in total, with about 6 of them having a red option as well as a green option.
Alright, please just explain to us what is the color coding option.
Color coding option, the trail is marked in black, and then if we've got an escape route or a chicken run, that will be marked as a green arrow, and then the more difficult obstacles will be marked as a red arrow. Going to the red arrows, that obstacle is absolutely for a guided obstacle only. Don't attempt to drive the obstacle by yourself. You need to be fairly experienced with a vehicle that is very capable, low range, clearance, some undercarriage protection, and obviously a rear diff lock will be most advantage.
Alright, and then obviously with a famous trail like Spookspruit, you have many people coming from far. And what do you do in terms of people that wants to stay over for the night?
Okay. We do have a campsite with 14 power-pointed stands. There's ablutions with hot running water. There's a pool for the summer for the kids and also for the adults. And then also we've got on the farm very nice hiking trails going into the nearby game farms, and also the scenery is spectacular.
Awesome. So it's not only 4x4, you also mentioned hiking trails, so if you want to come for a stroll, you're more than welcome.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then the other thing, Johan, what I really noticed about Spookspruit and you in particular is the fact that you guys go so far out of your way. You literally walk the extra mile for the people that come to visit Spookspruit. I mean, the first thing I noticed about you was how many people do you need to make provision for in terms of coffee, tea, rusks and so on when we come and just arrive. We didn't do anything else yet, just arrived, and already you are serving us. And then on top of that, you ask how many braais should you have ready for when we are done so that we can have a braai together. And that is something that I can really say stands out. And again, on top of that as well, you even physically spend your whole day with us in the veld so that you can make sure that all of us gets through safely. We are all guided, and that's awesome. I mean, that's not something that we really see elsewhere.
Etienne, the thing is, Spookspruit is a passion. It's not a business venture. It's a passion. We come from a precision driving environment. For those that know me as a marshal for the Bridgestone series, as well as a competitor for the Bridgestone series, that's where it all started, is to make sure that whoever is in the veld knows the proper line, knows how to use his vehicle. And it starts with arriving here, making sure that people feel comfortable. On the trail, we make sure everyone goes through safely and make sure that we don't do damage to vehicles. If there's damage to vehicles, yes, that does happen from time to time. But the issue is to get the vehicles to the end without any damage. Afterwards, it's always nice to have a braai, to socialize, to make new friends. And after all, this is what it's all about. Making friends. It's a family orientated event. This is what it's all about. I always say, if the kids don't cry when they leave here, it's not been a successful day.
Well said, well said. And on top of that, I think this is the vehicle that you'll be using to drive with us.
Yes.
So meaning you have a stock standard 4x4 vehicle and you're doing the trail with us. So meaning if you just take the correct line, knowing your story behind the steering wheel, then you don't need a highly capable vehicle. You can do it with the standard 4x4.
Absolutely, absolutely. This trail is, you can arrive here with a brand new Jimny, or you can arrive here with a 5-car. You will have a ball of a day. By the way, Spook, my trusted XL complete bucky, has seen all the obstacles. It's been taken a couple of knocks, but yes, luckily it knows the management roads on the farm. So you will just see me appear at an obstacle without knowing how I got there.
Like a spook.
Like a spook.
Guys, check this episode out. This is going to be epic. We had a quite decent convoy, from stock standard vehicles right up to decent rigs. And the participants was quite excited and spirited to take on this trail. Everyone got together for the drivers meeting, where we got to meet new faces and discuss the flow of the day.
They really wrapped all of it.
Hoeveel is allemaal vir die eerste keer hier saam met ons? Dis lekker.
Die eerste keer dat ek saam met jou hier. Maar gelukkig ek sien met die colt, julle is georganiseerd.
Ek wil net weer een ding sê, my oom, ek hoop maar net jy spookers op hulle plek, want daai die Bosryers hier was, gaan hulle nooit weer stel.
Weet al kom die naam Spookspruit vandaan. Die spook om kaart te kry.
Sê.
Nou nie goed aanvang wat jy nie moet aanvang.
Van julle is dit die eerste keer. Ek hoop julle geniet dit. Spookspruit is soos 'n inkleerboek. As jy buite die lyntjies gaan inkleer, gaan jy moeilikheid hê. So, ek praat met my hande.
Yeah, so guys, we started the trail on Spookspruit on the way to the first obstacle, and already we came across some slight challenges. That's just literally like a warm-up, and what I must say is we have quite a decent convoy following in the adventures today, so I really look forward to what this day will unfold for us. Alright guys, so the first obstacle is nothing major, a little axle twister and just a little seesaw warm-up session. Make sure all your flex is working nicely. If you do need to test your diff lock, this is an excellent time to do that, but nothing major. And guys, so on obstacle 2 already, this is where the action actually starts. As you can see, this is a nice mud hole. We have a decent convoy. Let's see who makes it, let's see who doesn't, and yeah, stay tuned. Since it's still quite early in the morning, most of the drivers took the easy way through this mud hole. First up, we have David Gravenstein with his Sonic called Fury. David having his eyes focused on Johan, who's giving him lines, taking this obstacle quite easy. For the first time on a Bosryers adventure, we have a Nissan Pathfinder joining us. This time, this guy is called Red Roman, and we have Mike behind the steering wheel. And Yaku coming in next with his stock standard Toyota Fortuner called Vipgaatjie, taking this obstacle quite cautiously, quite slowly to make sure that the mascara doesn't get any damage. Struggling a little bit at the end, but with a quick line change, he got out perfectly. Next up, we have a man who needs little introduction. This is Johan with a short wheelbase Pajero called Shorty. With a combination between a different line and a little bit of momentum, this obstacle was no challenge for Johan. And next up we have Johannes with Jeepers coming in. And today is a special day for Johanna's little girl who is 12 years old, celebrating her birthday. Congratulations on this special day, Khale. Hope you have a wonderful day. This time around we have Alvain coming in with Megatron, trying a bit of a more difficult lane through this mud hole, stretching the flex of Megatron as he goes into the mud hole, then struggling a little bit with traction, choosing a different line and coming out quite easily. And as you all know Moritz with a white pony by now, he always chooses a difficult line. Coming in with white pony into this difficult section, the same place that bogged everyone else down also bogged him down. Again, choosing a different line and coming out quite natural. And there is a reason why the Lolux is famous. Peter coming in next with a 2.2 Toyota Hilux. Lifted quite high with 33-inch tires. This obstacle is no challenge for him whatsoever. And next up we have Gert coming in with a very capable Thunder. This is a short wheelbase Jeep Rubicon with 37-inch tires and huge ground clearance. And up next we have Martin coming in with his stock standard chimney called Rattle. And with the guts of Martin not holding back driving where the big wheels is driving, unfortunately got bogged down. However, what a nice shower show. Johan Havenga coming to stand on the side of the vehicle to give some assistance with weight balancing, helping him out of the first bog down. After that, Martin got seriously bogged down this time and could go nowhere. Johan Stein, being an awesome team member, always being first to help out with the recovery, coming again in with Shorty to help on this situation as well. Alright guys, so this is obstacle 3 with off-camber section, slope to the right, and then in the middle there's a section where we are also sloping to the left, and then in the middle where there's a transition there's going to be some wheel lifting. But nevertheless we have done worse, so it's alright, and I have a tour guide in front of me who knows his stories, so thankful enough we can trust him. He has done this many times before. Nice. The transition is quite awesome, to be honest. Sloping to the right. Even though this specific obstacle didn't look like much, it's just an off-camber to the left and then an off-camber to the right with the transition in the middle. This obstacle, however, tested your abilities in many ways. To start with, it tested your vehicle's capabilities in terms of how far it can go before it falls over. Luckily, I can say none of our vehicles reached that point. Then next we have the transition section in the middle that really tests your vehicle's flex, resulting in some vehicles having huge wheel lifts and then other vehicles almost didn't lift a wheel at all. The reason for that all depends on what type of vehicle or what type of suspension that you have under your rig.
Nice, I like the wheel lift. Nice, nice. Mooi neergezet.
Spookspruit in general is a very awesome place for every type of 4x4 enthusiast. From a beginner right up to an expert, this trail has got something for everyone.
Kom hierdie kant toe, kyk vir my. Hierdie kant, kom af.
Moenie worry, die van kom nog. Oh, daar is al klaar 'n half meter. Ja, daai wiel is amper 'n meter hoog. However, I did mention earlier that little did we know, this would be one of the last adventures for Spookspruit. The farm was sold recently to new owners, and the new owners has got a completely different plan for this farm. And would like to take this opportunity to thank Johan Havenga and his wife again for all their hospitality that they gave all the drivers throughout the years. This is definitely a place and an experience that we will miss dearly. Then we have Gert going boss with thunder, this time choosing a completely different line through this obstacle. With a little bit of assistance from the bush mechanics, the correct line was given at the end. Hi guys, so we're standing here at obstacle number 4, where there's two options that you can take, where it's the black line or the red line. And on the black line, there's also again two options that you can take. So as you can see, this step underneath my feet, that's the one that we need to be concerned about. So with my vehicle, I'm going to attempt this one first. However, I do think I will get stuck, but nevertheless, we do stupid things. And then if I don't succeed, I will come over to this line, and most likely I'll make it out then. But for the more extreme vehicles, let's have a look at the red line. And now this is the red line section on obstacle number 4, where you can see you start off with this kind of a huge step. As you can see, that is a place where your sump or your diff can really get some damage. Anyhow, follow me, let me show you the rest. As you can see, the guys are discussing already, but this is your second try. Look how high, according to my leg, is the next set of steps that you need to take up. And then you're not done yet. Then you still have a last section. So whoever tries this really has some goons. Alright guys, so coming in on obstacle number 4, I'm choosing still the black line though, but the most difficult option on the black line. Now let's see how we do on this one. I actually do believe I'm going to get stuck on my belly. This place is quite slippery and slidey with the loose sand and dust that I'm even struggling to get myself lined up. But here we go. Let's see that I get up. Johnny standing arms forward, so he's quite confident. Bad at all from this to myself. Bumpy ride though. And there was a time or two where, or a moment or two where I actually doubted. But we made it. Well done, Boot. Second in the line we have Fury with David behind the steering wheel. Johan Havenga knowing what's going to happen next, making sure that David lines up correctly for this obstacle. Keeping in mind that this Nissan Sani does not have a diff lock, standard limited slip diff, David is doing extremely well on this obstacle. Also taking on the black line we have Mike with the red Roman. With more than enough low torque power on that 2.5 diesel engine and the correct line, this challenge was no challenge.
Okay, well done.
Hey geez.
Okay. Walk in the park. That's done.
Wipgaatjie coming in next with new technology underneath the hood. This is a 2.8 GD6 automatic. This challenge is very easy for Jaco.
Nou, je gaat lucht hierdie kant. Gaan opgaan. Zet je lokker aan, hè? Kijk, kom. 100%. Well done.
Awesome!
Well done.
Alwyn coming in with a D4D Megatron around the corner, not lining up, taking the line as it is right in front of him. And again, Johan Havenga is standing by with the right advice to take Alwyn through this obstacle.
Okay, wacht. Zet je lokker aan. Oké, hou hem daar, ik kom voor je toe. Stadig. Kijk. Well done. Ja, hij komt er weer.
Ja, ik zeg het
And not forgetting the birthday girl Kale. That also means sunshine, getting spoiled by her dad Johannes, coming through on this obstacle with jeepers.
Slowly but surely. You're gonna look on the side, yes. Well done. Keep it in. Keep it in, yes. Come back this way, yes. Well done, look. And turn in this way. Get faster. Well done.
Good stuff, man.
You can go play the Jeep advertisement. Well done. The car makes you look good.
Johan always up for a challenge, taking the more difficult option on the black line, having confidence in his shorty.
Overga. Wat moet je daar dan onder? Bij blok, slider.
Doubtfully, I watched how Moritz was the first participant taking on the red line on this obstacle. Already, the very first step is raising some eyebrows. At first, Moritz attempted the option more to the right, and after not succeeding, he went to the left option.
Hij heeft niet voortgevangen.
Kom, klik. Jou klip hier zo sit.
Hij is een long wheelbase van ons. Hij gaat toe.
Pas my terug. Ja, oké.
Dis jou pompoen agter. Hierdie masterklip is nou hier reg voor jou.
With the ground clearance of the white pony being just a little bit too low, the bush mechanics jumped in, did some road building, and he went through successfully on this specific step. However, the rest of this obstacle is not easy, so let's see what happens next.
Wacht my bietjie terug. Hy stop.
Byt vas, Maurits.
That rocks. Only one guy back to them. Otherwise,
Sal jy sê?
yeah, your fingers gonna get in there and then more problems.
Right, jy kyk.
Hey, jy reg?
Maurits, jy's fine.
Okay, baie stadig. That's it, well done. Okay. Wag vir my, wag vir my, wag vir my. Okay.
Moritz, even though we had our doubts, you came in with your confidence and you proved us wrong. Well done, Moritz. And Lolak's coming in next with Peter. On this obstacle again, I just scratch my head because it's difficult to decide who's more capable. Is it Lolak's or is it the driver Peter? Nevertheless, the relationship between man and machine in this case is so well balanced. Well done, Peter.
Kijk eens, Lola, kijk zo makkelijk in gelijk op. Hij lekker kan zijn pedal is een clutch.
And this is Kenny coming in with a famous epic buck. I just need to put emphasis on the fact that this is not a low-range 4x4 vehicle. It's only a rear-wheel drive with a 1800 Golf engine. Kenny not backing out of a challenge, also taking on the red line. At least the bush mechanics is standing nearby.
Wat is jouw potje? Nee? Ja, de bruine truck. Ja, want er zit al aan. Ga je zelf ook praten? Dan begin ik te pakken. Hij staat bij staat. Net zo recht. Geen probleem om die op bij alright, kom,
Daar sê mannekrag.
With the low ground clearance of the epic bug already on the first step, he got bogged down. And the bush mechanics got him out of that situation. With a little bit of road building, the first step was possible. And as Kenny hit the second step, it was quite evident that this obstacle is just too rough for the epic buck. At least you tried, Kenny. Well done, bud. Next up we have Vic with the Yultite Speeltite Raptor. Also coming around the corner, not having a great turning circle, lining up first before taking the obstacle. With directions from Johan, Vic crawled this obstacle out quite easily.
Whoa! Raptors is gemaakt om te vlieg! Ja, dank u! Lekker man!
Baie nice. Te maklik. Way te maklik. Lekker.
Next up we have a short wheelbase Jeep Rubicon, Thunder of course, with Gert behind the steering wheel. Keep in mind this is a very wide vehicle, so coming through the first step needs to be absolutely accurate.
Jy moet op die regte lyn gee. Kom hier, maak reg uit. Lekker!
Bietjie terug.
Now to make sure we get the correct line for the second step is taking a little bit of time, but lining up is crucial.
Hierdie kant toe. Stop, draai jy. Kom nou.
Taking the second step with a bit of momentum, pushing it through. Nicely done, Gert.
Lekker.
Coming into the final stretch of this obstacle, the wideness of the Jeep is counting against Gert. However, the shortness again counts in his favor. And something we never thought was possible, just look at how this Jeep bounces on the last step of this obstacle.
Woo! Nice!
And back on the black line we have Martin pushing the limits of Little Rattle. With a lot of experience behind the steering wheel and also a lot of experience on the track, you can really see the results.
Nice!
So guys, this is obstacle number 5. So let's see what this river bed is holding up for us. Alright guys, so on this obstacle, first of all I'm going to try a crawling method, which I doubt that will work at all. But let's see how it goes. Maybe we're surprised. But nevertheless, I think this is a momentum obstacle. As Jaco comes into this obstacle with Vipgaatjie, just listen to the cheerful playing sounds of the children playing in the stream. If all the adverts in the video is irritating you, just a word of advice, get yourself YouTube Premium. All the adverts gone and you watch a full episode without any interruptions. Now let's get back to what matters. Jaco and Vipgaatjie on this obstacle, not making out the first time as he used the crawling method on a stock standard Fortuner with road tires. However, he had to come back, a little bit of momentum, and he went through successfully. And then of course we had one spectator who just couldn't stay behind the barrier line. And next up we have the white pony with Moritz behind the steering wheel. Also with a lot of knowledge behind the wheel, he takes this obstacle with more than enough momentum, bouncing both front and rear wheels of the X. And again, no introduction needed for Lolux coming in with Peter behind the steering wheel. Sometimes it's hard to believe that this is only a 2.2. With so much torque underneath that hood, this obstacle is no challenge. And this is Alwyn joining the Bosryers for the first time with Megatron, and on this obstacle he really shows us why he's called Megatron. Also joining the Bosryers for the first time, this is David with Fury coming in next. With his overlanding rig, on the exit, not giving enough throttle the first time. However, the second time, the throttle was well in place and well done. And this is Gert with the short wheelbase Jeep Rubicon called Thunder. Just look at the huge wheels, high lifted vehicle and powerful torque takes this vehicle easily through this obstacle. And also joining the Bosryers for the first time, we have Mike with a red Roman coming in next. As you can see, a long wheelbase vehicle does this obstacle quite differently. However, the torque with the turbo really does complement this vehicle. And this is Johan coming in with Shorty, using the short wheelbase capabilities and applying the correct momentum, taking this obstacle like a boss. And this is Johannes with Jeepers coming in next. Johannes is driving a long wheelbase Jeep, trying a crawling method first. Unfortunately, that didn't work in his favor. However, just giving a little bit more throttle really does the trick. And another familiar face, we have Kenny with the epic buck, just showing off again how he flies his buggy. And we have Vic with the Yultate Speeltate Ford Raptor, taking the family out on a 4x4 trip. It is quite evident with all the sounds coming out from that vehicle that everyone is just having a blast of a day.
Wat zei Yultate Speeltate?
Lekker, lekker! Bosryers 4!
And next up we have the fearless Rattle taking Martin for a spin on this obstacle. And welcome to obstacle number 7. As many YouTubers in the past already showcased that this is a short wheelbase obstacle. Well, I don't think we need to prove them right or wrong, but what I do say is, let's enjoy the challenge still. Definitely I think my bucky will hang, so I need to take this one with momentum. The one right behind me, little step up, so too much momentum will definitely have your front wheels flying. Alright guys, so obstacle 7, I really don't know what to expect, but crawling is not going to work for a long wheelbase vehicle here. Second time, stuck, going nowhere.
As dit Etienne.
Hallo Werner.
Sit jy weer vas, boet?
Ons gaan maak of ek nie doen nie.
Okay.
Ai ai ai. On a diet. Alright, so we have Moritz behind me, pulling me back off this little hump. In all honesty, this hump, I really underestimated it. I honestly thought the third hump is the one that's going to be my killer. But apparently not. The second one was the master. Alright, so in my opinion, I can be completely wrong, but I think there's two ways of taking this obstacle. First, you can take it fast and with a lot of momentum, or secondly, you can do it a little bit cheaty way with snake, like a snake, you know, a cross axle type of thing. So let's do that.
Hy's net te hoog.
I'm really stuck. Alright, so this is attempt number 3 on obstacle 7.
Nee, bakje achteraf neem niet.
Sorry, bakje rijden.
Alright guys, so with the fact that I got recovered numerous times on this obstacle, it is proof that every other YouTuber that said this is a short wheelbase obstacle was perfectly right. There's no doubt about that. After recovering me numerous times, Moritz just had to take the obstacle the wrong way around to get back to the starting point. Moritz taking this obstacle officially now. Even though both me and Moritz have the same wheel size, the overall height of the vehicle is much higher than mine, and Moritz really impresses me how he takes this obstacle without any issues. Since Vic did not want to take his Ford Raptor through this obstacle because it's a low vehicle, he decided to join Peter in low lugs. Being the spirited sportsman he is, his playful attitude really rubs off on everyone around him. Oh yeah, and not to forget to mention how well Peter and Lolax did this obstacle. It is evident that the Toyotas is showing off on this obstacle. Next up we have Alvain with Megatron, also doing this obstacle without any assets. And this is David coming in with a second Nissan called Fury, also getting stuck on the second hump. Nissan territory, papa!
Ek het nog geen Nissan kan dalk kan maak, jy weet.
Dit is nie die pas sit ons moet ook.
With a little bit of help from the bush mechanics, he was freed from that hump in no time.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ag kom voor.
Yes, 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 yes. Ja.
Nou gaan jy. Wow, Maurits. Jy weet dis goed die liefde hoor.
David, when in doubt, floor it out. Wat verdruk.
As David pushes the limits of his vehicle to go to the exit of this obstacle, unfortunately, he did not make it out and got stuck on his belly.
Okay, begin your spook.
David, druk neer al, maak het seer.
With the white pony being close by, Moritz volunteered immediately to see if we can set Fury free. With a good attempt or two from the white pony to pull Fury out, unfortunately the whole attempt failed. The reason for that was since we are pulling the vehicle from the front, it actually caused the belly of the vehicle to push more into the ground. After the failed recovery, we tried to winch. Unfortunately, the results were still exactly the same.
Links, links, links.
Draai eens even links. Draai links, draai links. First, okay. Alright.
Ek moet 'n anker point kry.
Then after that, we called on the bush mechanics to come and push the vehicle back into the ditch from the hump. And then David decided to take a completely different line.
Okay, here.
Vat hom met krag. Baie daarvan. Okay.
Since this obstacle is a short wheelbase obstacle, Shorty did not have any issues whatsoever on this obstacle. However, that little step at the end of the exit was a slight bit of a challenge for Shorty. At first, he didn't have enough momentum, then afterwards, with a little bit of footwork, he got out.
Ons moet jou wiele afklas dat jy bietjie laer kom op die grond.
Gert coming in with Thunder, taking Thunder for a little Sunday drive cruise through this obstacle. This is proof that when you have an immensely capable vehicle, you literally can go anywhere. Jeep is coming in next with Johannes behind the steering wheel. This Jeep is a standard long wheel based vehicle who is also not lifted. Johannes taking this obstacle first with a crawling method and got stuck real soon. And as always, the bush mechanics don't leave anyone behind. The bush mechanics simply helped him off from the hump.
Kom ons skryf net 'n bietjie mannekrag. Ons het meer mannekrag nodig. Kom hier. Alright, 1, 2, 3, go. Stand here with the other one. Yeah, over. Yay! Sorry, Kenny, your famous back. Johannes, you must send
Attempt number 2 started off very well. Unfortunately, Johannes left the throttle too early. Again, the bush mechanics came in to save the day. When it came to the exit, Johannes didn't take any chance and he just pushed the pedal to the floor and went out quite beautifully. And next up we have the Superman of the team. This is Kenny coming in with the epic buck. I am not sure exactly what is on his roof, but feast your eyes on it. The way that thing stays on the roof without falling off is just mind-blowing. And Martin taking rattle on this obstacle with more than enough momentum, as if he has done this before.
Vandag, hoorie, hierdie wors is koning. Dankie vir die met maak het, julle het ons uitgesort. Thank you.
Maar ek wil nie slide nie. My pens moet nie raak nie, so ek moet peper.
Stay tuned for scenes from our second part of the adventure at Spookspruit. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe.
Ry hier in die bosveld en die vuurtjie brand te mooi. Die songesig oor die rots en klip en natuur wat ons uitnooi. Ons ry waar ander net kan droom en die son sak in die bos. Ons bosryers het modderbloed en ons kry jou in die boks.